Okay, so how has my martial art influenced what we do here in GMB? So really it's influenced everything that we do in GMB, but the major thing though is looking at transitions. And so you think about it, if you're in martial art, it's not just one thing and you're done. It's one thing leads to another, your opponent does this, therefore you need to flow into something else and continue with that. And so with that in mind, we're looking at, okay, how can we get better off of the mat in order to help what we're doing in martial art? And so that was a big thing within GMB that we're thinking about when looking at particular movement. And so let me just give you an example, okay? So we'll go down here. So as I mentioned, we've got a particular movement in martial art where when you're moving, it could be judo, and when you're doing it and he reacts this way and he's turning this way, therefore uchimata or something that you're doing there. And so the thing is we're not trying to do that for judo. We're not trying to do the same thing. What we're trying to do is think about how can moving better and getting better at moving from one movement to another help us so that when we go do our martial arts, we have that better awareness. We have that better feeling for what's going on in our bodies so that we can flow better when someone else is with us. So for example, one quick thing that we can look at is a forward roll into a monkey. Okay, so from this, and I'm choosing a forward roll simply because obviously in martial art you see forward roll a lot. Now the forward roll that I'm doing here might not be your typical judo forward roll, but just put that to the side right now. We're just thinking about transition. How does one movement transition into the other? How smoothly can we do this and make it beautiful, be very comfortable with it, and then also look at variations, because when we're doing and we go back to martial arts, it's not always going to be the same. You can practice a punch a certain way, but against another opponent, it's always going to be different. And even by yourself, it's always going to be different. That's a different topic. But if we're looking at a forward roll into a monkey, or even into just like a basic Frogger where we're traveling forward, continuing to travel forward, we can then take these movements, put them together, and learn how to control our bodies better. So as we go forward, we can look at making things smoother. We can look at stalling a little bit. We can look at actually continuing to throw ourselves forward. We throw ourselves forward into it so that we learn how to get better in the movements. We can even slow it down. So when we slow it down, looking at how we can control this in any position that we want, so that we have full control and know what our bodies can do, so that when we get on the mat, we have that awareness. Not just about winning and trying to dominate an opponent. Other important part of this is making sure that we don't get injured in the process. So the better control and the better awareness that we have in these particular transitions, the better off we're going to be in terms of not just being able to perform our martial art better, but also looking at longevity. It's a huge thing that we're doing here in GMB.